Okay, we're solving compound inequalities. This is section 2.4 part A on your notes. But before we start the new stuff, here's the old stuff. We're going to translate a sentence to an inequality and we're going to solve it. So this is stuff from the last section that we did. It is translating from words to algebra. So if you say 6 times a number, how would you translate 6 times a number?
6x.
Okay, 6x, good job. Or you could use n, 6n, 6x, any letter will be fine. If I say is between, he says is between, what do I do? He's between negative 12 and 12. So when I say is between negative 12 and 12, tell me what's right. Am I going to be, tell me this way. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Well, they won't equal either or.
Right, it won't be an either or.
So it'll be plain, like
Okay.
no line underneath.
Right, plain, no line underneath. Tell me less than or greater than, simple.
Less than.
Less than, good job. And then tell me what symbol to write after 6x.
Less than.
Less than, and what do I write after that?
12.
12. Okay. So does everybody understand the inequality?
Yeah.
I have 6 times the numbers between negative 12 and 12. Okay, now that we've not solved it, we've put down an equality, we're going to solve it. We've translated it into algebra. How do you solve that? What do I do?
You divide by 6.
Very good. You divide by 6. Okay, tell me where else. I have to do it in the middle and where?
On both sides.
On both sides. Good job. So I have to multiply the left, the right, and the middle. So I have to divide the left and the right and the middle all by 6 because I want the letter by itself. All right, somebody tell me what to write from left to right. Okay, so what am I writing instead of writing the negative 12x divided by 6? What am I writing?
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
Less
than
x.
x. Less than 2. Good job. So I have solved it now. Okay, I know that x is between negative 2 and 2. It doesn't say write in interval notation. It just says solve it. But if I wanted the answer interval notation and not with the inequalities, tell me what to write from left to right. What am I going to write? Open parentheses. Negative 2, comma, 2, close parentheses. Good job. Okay. So everybody got it? That's the stuff that we just finished. Okay, on to the new stuff. The new stuff, lesson 2.5. We're going to talk about ANDS. We're going to talk about a compound inequality with an AND in it. And we're going to talk about what's called the intersection of two sets, because we're going to look at how these inequalities intersect. When you look at an AND, you're going to see how do the two inequalities that you give me intersect. So we're going to talk about intersection of sets. When we talk about intersection of sets, we're talking about any two sets, and this is just A and B, where I want to look at what's called the intersection of the sets. I want to look at what's members of both the sets, elements that are in both sets. Set A, it's in set B. So when we're going to solve these compound inequalities that are ANDs, we're going to solve each one separately, and then we're going to look and see what numbers are shaded on both. Okay? So that's why we're going to talk about the intersection of sets. I want to know the things that are shaded on both inequalities. That's what an intersection means. So let's solve this one. Oh wait, we're just going to do an example of an intersection. Okay, so for this one, if we want to find the intersection, and it says let A, and all we're doing is we're saying here's A, he contains a set of these numbers. He contains 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Set B. Set B contains 2, 4, and 6. Those are the set that's in set B. If I say find the intersection of A and B, that means 2 and 4. Very good. I want the numbers that are in both sets. And like you said, 2 and 4 are in both sets. So the intersection of A and B are 2 and 4. And we're going to use the proper notification or the proper symbols. So here's how I want you to write it. I want you to write it A, and it's an upside down U. Okay? So I want you to write it just like that. So A, upside down U and B, the intersection of A, B is equal. And if it's in set notation, you're going to write it just like the other one. See how it says A equals and it says B equals? Okay, you're going to use the same notation. You're going to have the intersection of A, B equals, and don't forget the little parentheses things too. You're going to list them out, 2 and 4. Just make sure your form is proper. We good? Everybody understand it? Okay. Okay, now, what's the matter? Compound inequalities. Compound inequality, it consists of 2 inequalities. We've already talked about how to solve them, how to graph them, and they're linked by a word that's an and or an or. Okay? And here's an example of an and an or. You can see that there are 2 inequalities, and this one is linked by an and this other one is linked by an or. In this section, part A, we're going to solve the ands, and part B, we're going to solve the ors. Does it look familiar from Algebra 2? Remember that? Do you remember it from Algebra 2? All right, so it looks a little familiar. Let me go to the next slide. All right, now here's really quick step 1 and step 2, how to solve a compound inequality with an and. Okay, we're going to solve them just like normal, just like we did last lesson. You're going to solve them individually. Okay, and since the inequalities are joined with an and, when you solve them and you graph them, since they're joined with an and, you are going to look at the numbers that are in both, that are shaded both inequalities, okay? So for an and, it's important that you are looking at the numbers that are shaded on both. Okay, we're going to solve them, we're going to graph them, we're going to see what numbers are shaded on both inequalities. Next slide. Okay, so let's start with this one. I'm going to solve one of them in red. I'm going to solve one of them in blue. I'm going to put both graphs above the number line, and I want to put what's shaded, what things are shaded both colors on the main number line. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so let's solve the first inequality, the x plus 3 less than 1. Let's solve that one first. We'll solve him with blue. How do I solve him? What do I do?
Subtract 3 from both sides.
Good job. Subtract 3 from both sides. Okay. When you do that, you're going to get x is less than
-2.
Good job. Okay, now when I graph him, I'm going to graph him above the number line. I'm going to put both of them above so I can compare them, one above the other. When I go to -2, I'm going to put an open or closed circle on it. Open. Oh yeah, sorry. We're in interval notation. I keep forgetting. Not algebra 2. We're doing parentheses. Okay, so he's an open parenthesis. He's an open parenthesis. Which way am I shading?
Sure.
Okay, and I'm shading less than. We good on that?
We do both.
Wait, do we do it all
Yeah.
line?
No, because I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'll show you why in a minute. Here's why you don't want to do it on the line. I want to have the main one. I want to have their intersection on the main line. Okay, so this other one, this x minus 4 greater than -12, I want to solve that in red. Somebody tell me what to do to solve it. What do I do?
Add 4.
Good job. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. When I add 4 to both sides, I'm going to get x is greater than what?
-8.
-8. Good job. So when I shade this guy, I'm going to go to -8 and I'm going to put a bracket or a parenthesis. Parenthesis, and I'm going to shade him greater than. Okay. Now we're going to go to the main number line. Okay, does everybody understand the red and the blue stuff? Okay. Here's what we're going to put on the main number line. We're going to put, oh, look what I had. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's why I was.
That's okay. Oh, you know what?
Oh, blinded.
Okay. I'll do that on the other ones. I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay, honey.
All right, you're going to see what is overlapping. What values are both blue and red?
-2.
Good job. Am I going to put a square bracket thingy or what? What am I going to? Okay, no, like a parentheses. Yep, half circle.
Not even.
And shade in between.
So why do we have 3 number lines that we hit all?
Well, I made a mistake. Yes, I didn't see mine. I didn't extend my page. Yes, you can put each one of those on your own number line. I apologize. You can put the blue one on the top one. You can put the red one on the middle one. Then you can put the green one on the bottom. I just didn't see. I didn't extend my page. Okay, that's how easy it is. Does everybody understand?
It's easy.
Okay. Okay, so here is going to be your bookwork. Okay, your bookwork, page 89, 15 through 25 odds. If you have any questions, you can come and see me.